about new launches actually has a higher price resistance in the downturn market compared to a resale property. In terms of being prudent, new homes actually give you a higher prudence rate because of your margin of safety. You buy in at the same PSF rate with everybody else. Your PSF or entry is actually a huge marginal difference of 30 to 40% PSF different from the previous owner, and that will give you that deficit in marginal safety, which many people don't look into. And then next, debunking the myth. You lose money in a recession. Is it true? Okay, so you buy in during recession. That's what we're trying to say. So in this instance, we talk about 2008, 2009 during a financial crisis, and this is basically where we are looking at the rate of quarter 1 08 all the way to quarter 4 09 at the bottom axis. And the different color coding here shows that light blue is new sale, the medium blue is actually subsale, and navy blue is resale. Okay, and the chart that we are seeing here in orange actually shows the average price growth rate in percentages. So what's the left and right axis? Left axis shows the average price in PSF, and the right axis shows the sales volume. Okay, so again, I share on my master classes every now and then that transaction volume equates to price appreciation, and this is so true given this data that is shown in this graph. So again, if you see from first quarter 09 all the way to fourth quarter 09, we see more volume. That volume actually equates to a higher price tag as well. And this literally just show a rebound, that's all. Because if you're buying in first quarter 08 or you're not exited then, your PSS is about $1,000. And it took them until fourth quarter 09 to actually bring it back to equilibrium or to neutralize it. Okay, so it is true that during a financial crisis, you lose money, okay, when you exit. But again, if you want to dive deeper into the data and attributes, what can we get? So over here, me and my team actually brainstorm and talk about, let's measure how does it look like if they were to buy in way earlier, not like within the few years of the financial crisis, right? Because back then when you buy in 08 and 09, you could actually just flip your property without getting any form of seller stamp duty from government. Okay, so in this instance, we also uncover what are the districts that hurt the most. Okay, and in this instance, the core central region, which is the district 1, at a loss of 15.6%. But if you look at the district numbers here, actually it hits all regions of Singapore, from core central region, which is district 1, and also district 10 over here. Okay, and we talk about the rest of central region, which is district 13, and also district 4, and also the outside central region, district 20 and whatnot, so I'm 28. So everywhere is being hit. All right, just a matter of difference in percentage point. So let's look at viewing all subsale and resale transaction. That means if you were to sell your unit by way of before TOP or after TOP, and that period of subsale or resale happens within the window of the recession, which is year 08 to 09. How does it look like for you? Again, you sell during a recession. So over here, we see a chart. On the left axis, it's the sales volume in 05, 10, 15. At the bottom itself, we see the TOP year. Okay, so bearing in mind, these are TOP year. These are not the date of launch, the date of TOP. Okay, so it's from 1993 all the way to 08 and 09 because we're talking about people who exit in 08 and 09. And from right to left, you see here, these are the numbers reducing from 16, 15 all the way to 0. And what is this number? This number refers to the 15-year shelf life of a property from 08. So if you were to buy something and sell something in 08, basically you still have a maximum 15-year shelf life left. And of course, if you were to sell in 1993 over here, it means you max out your 15-year shelf life and you have nothing left. That's why it's 0. And how does it perform? Okay. So in this instance, we pull out the graph here. These are the different volumes of unit transacted in different shelf life across 2008 all the way to 1993. And in this instance, we find a very interesting trending. What we found out is that over here, these are the annualized gain, capital gain on the annualized level. On the right side, you see 1%, 2, 3, and 4. And property that I feel that actually make a decent growth is from 3.5% onwards. So 3.5% onwards, we are talking from the day that they purchase since launch day. Okay, so from launch day to TOP, it may take about 3 to 4 years. But the shelf life count, if you remember, we take the frame of count date from TOP date. So in this instance, if you were to count within this period, property with more than 10 years shelf life left, that means TOP less than 5 years, they are performing beyond the 3.5% capital gain on an annualized level. So if you're talking about in 2003 over here for people who have exited in this period of time, they actually get a good 3.5% over a spread of 5 years. Okay, so moving on to the next chart, we talk about, of course, these are the data that we can derive. And if you have joined me for my previous educational masterclass series, when I talk about uncovering the gems in the limited marketplace, we also share that we point you towards properties in the resale market that has at least 9 years shelf life left. All right, and this is in direct so-called relation or trending to what we have found out given this deeper so-called research done by me and my team as well. So it is not conflicted, it is in alignment. Okay, so if you want to buy even for the resale market for not optimum growth, for a decent growth, we should be, and decent we are talking about like what, 2.5% plus minus in the resale market, you should at least go for something with at least 9 years shelf life left. Okay, don't go anything beyond that. All right, so next we then talk about how these fundamentals stage through to one of my 5 key metrics for urban transformation. Okay, so this is one of the screenshots that me and my team has actually gathered. And of course, we talk about new launches actually has a higher price resistance in the downturn market compared to a resale property. So what you're trying to say here is that in terms of being prudent, new homes actually give you a higher prudence rate because of your margin of safety. You buy in at the same PSF rate with everybody else, okay? Rather than you buy in way later, and with that in mind, your PSF or entry is actually a huge marginal difference of what, 30 to 40% PSF different from the previous owner, and that will give you that so-called deficit in margin of safety, which many people don't look into. All right. So next, we then go into performance. If you purchase in year 07 and 08, that means you enter the market during a recession. How does it look like? In fact, the peak at Belmac is West or Central region, is at Pasir Panjang. Okay, it's a freehold one. And this property that we have selected, they all falls under the urban transformation zoning. Okay, and the Centuries itself is actually under the OCR area, and it's actually within the Jurong Lake District and Jurong Innovation District as well. And it's an integrated development. Okay, and the last one we have is under the core Central region called the Sale at Marina Bay. So let's see how their performance looks like given this falls under the urban transformation area. So if you look at the left axis here, shows the annualized growth, 2.468%, and you look at the years at the bottom, which is from 09 all the way to 2022, which is a span of close to about 13 years altogether. So it's all how Peak at Belmac actually raised all the way up to 12 percentage point or even 13 percentage point in year 2012 altogether. And the TOP date is actually in 2011. So what it means is that if you have bought in and sell within the first year of TOP, like I mentioned just now, where you are not dispersing the full loan and you are maximizing or optimizing your rental yield, okay, because the last 15% is caught upon only 1 year later, you are actually able to maximize your return. And that's where many people actually exit somewhere around in year 1, 2, okay? Of course, the longer you hold, the annualized gain will actually be lesser because economy of scale, right? The bigger the spread, your annualized will be lower. So we then talk about the next one, which is the Centuries. How does it perform? So the Centuries, interestingly, we did not see any people selling within from year 10 to year 17. These people who bought in 07, 08, right, did not exit from year 09 all the way to year 12. They only started exiting from year 17 onwards. And then finally, the CCR area. People who have bought in 07 or 08, they suffer tremendously because again, the sale we learn on my master classes, again, is beyond that 15-year shelf life or whatnot when they first so-called TOP, and that's where the prices did not grow drastically, okay? And that's why many people buy in because it's cheap. So in this instance, we see that the price actually barely neutralized, all right? And that's the year that the property was sold.